Hello, how are you today? I'm Chris of Chrissy's Over the Mountain Crochet and Crafts, and today I'm going to show you how to put a stiff cardboard liner in this adorable tea basket. You're going to want to do this so that the sides don't cave in. It's an adorable basket without the liner, but it's so much better with the liner. Let me show you how. Remember, this is a giveaway video. If you like or comment within the first 24 hours of me posting this video, your name will be entered into the giveaway for the entire Valentine's 2022 bundle. This is part of the Proverbs series. The Proverbs series is included in the Valentine's bundle, as well as From the Heart series of crochet patterns. The tea bag basket is just so cute, even without a liner, but the liner makes it nicer. If the children are messing with it, the sides will cave in. You can make it look nicer by pinching the corners to square those up, but it still could collapse. But the hot chocolate basket is next. Let me show you that real quick. That'll be the next tutorial. It will need a liner. You'll also need rulers, a variation of rulers. I will use all three of these rulers. I really need that fabric one. Scissors for cutting fabric, the fabric you choose, and poster board. You can just pick that up at the Dollar Tree, and glue gun. So now we need to measure the bottom of the tea basket. We're going to measure just inside that ridge, right along that ridge where those single crochet stitches are. We are going to measure from side to side, and those measurements are 2 3/4 inches. Now, your basket may be a little bit different in size, but mine is 2 3/4 inches. Remember, we're measuring just inside those ridges. So the bottom of mine is 8 inches. So I'll need to make a base that is 2 3/4 inches wide by 8 inches long. I'll do that real quick and cut that out. It's fairly easy. This is what I like to use the clear ruler for. That makes this job so much easier. Now you want to clip the sharp corners off of your cardboard base, and looks like I didn't stay inside the lines, so I'll trim off a little bit there, but really we don't want those sharp edges. That will create trouble with the fabric. I need to measure the height of the basket. I'm going with 2 inches because I want the fabric to poke up above. If I did not want the fabric to show, I would only use 1.5 inches. You need this side to be shorter if you don't want the fabric to poke up. Now let's measure the circumference of the basket and then add 1.5 to 2 inches. My measurement is 23, so I'm going to measure that 25 inches long. So for me, it's 2 inches because I want the fabric to poke up. But if you don't want fabric sticking up above, measure 1.5 inches or a 1/2 inch shorter than below that ridge. I'm cutting this out. So we have the base and we have the side strip. Now it's time to cut the fabric. I like using flannel fabric or something that already has a natural grid. That way I'm not having to mark the fabric also. I can just place this cardboard piece down, put it on a straight edge, pick a straight edge of that plaid, put the straight edge of the base on that plaid, and then just decide what looks like about 2 inches and use the grid on the fabric. Turn the fabric over and place the cardboard base and put 2 dots of glue right about where you see. Now that 1 dot of glue is just down a little bit too far. We're going to use an envelope method. So pull the corner to the inside and let it grab that glue. And this one, like I said, the glue is too far down, so I'm going to have to catty corner it just a little bit. Normally it will be straight across. You'll see that in the second application on the other end. All right, now test and make sure you have enough fabric to fold over. I like to cut that little tip off. Even if it's just a small amount. I cut a good bit there, but I still had plenty to fold over. So don't cut the tip if you don't have plenty to fold over. Now it's time to glue that into place with a hot glue gun. And then let's do the opposite corner. I did a better job of putting the glue where it needed to be. Now we're moving on to the side, and it's simple. Just fold it over and glue both sides that same way. Now you're going to want to finish up and batten down those loose edges. You can also put a cover over the back. Now let's see how it fits the basket. Oh, it's going to fit fine. I'm excited. Now it is time to cover this side strip, and we'll use the same technique. Just lay it on the plaid fabric using the grid. If you don't have plaid fabric, you need to mark 2 inches around. Now we're going to use the opposite of the envelope method. This is the fold over method. I want to show you this. You just fold the ends over and glue them in place. Now you're going to need to cut these little tips off on both ends. Now we're going to need to fold the fabric over, but we don't want to fold it directly over. No, that's not what we want. We want to pull and have it catty-cornered in just a tad bit. Not a lot, maybe 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch. You don't want that to be that fold to be totally flush with the edge of that basket. Now, it's easy to get off kilter, but you really need 1/4 to an 1/8 inch away from the edge of the basket. We'll do that same technique here. We'll do one side at a time and then glue a portion at a time. And because we've have a little bit of a catty corner in, we're going to could have a little bit of a bubble with this long piece of fabric. So the fabric will stretch a bit, and since it's so long, you can work that little bubble in. And there we go. See, no problem. Finish up the edges. Now, how to position the side strip onto the bottom of the basket. So, starting at the center with right sides of the fabric facing each other. Look, my plaids match. That doesn't always happen, but I thought I'd take a minute and show you. So, start on one side at the halfway point, standing it up straight. Then we bring our thumb in and make a mark. Keep our thumb right where the corner was, and then fold it. Fold that cardboard. This next step will show you the thumb mark so much easier. All right, see how I'm putting my thumb right there? I'm keeping it in place, and now I'm going, let's do it again. There we go. Just again, put your thumb right at that corner, and now it's a fold. There we go. And we do this all the way around the edge of the base, making sure that we're fitting it nice. We don't want to be loose about this. There, that looks good. Now, last one. Now we're going to need to glue those two pieces together, but I do want to stress that we need to push those two, yeah, like that. Push those two ends together. We need this to be taut. So you can just pick it up without it being glued together, but the first step is stapling the very bottom edge of those two pieces where they meet, putting a staple in there. That will hold that for you. Now pop the base out, and you can glue that edge. There's an opening right there. That staple gun really helps a lot. I should put that in the list of things needed. There we go. Now fit that in there. All right, it looks good. The sides are long, so they do look like they are opening up a little bit, but the gluing that we do with a glue gun, in just a moment, we'll take care of all that. All right, let's push it all down in. Okay, let's fuss a little more. Make sure everything is flush. Now we need the ends to be very flush with the sides. So those two end pieces, and you can tell I push from the inside just a little bit. Make sure it's very flush, and then lay a heavy bead of glue, more to the inside of the basket than the outside, but a heavy bead of glue, and then just fuss with it, make it go back and forth, making sure that that glue is just barely touching into the sides. All right. Now you're going to have to let that, see, I'm pushing it up. Now make sure you give yourself a little bit of time before moving on to this step. Let that glue at the other end dry and get hard. This is the most time-consuming part. Well, not time-consuming, it's just you can't do anything. It's not, you're not moving forward. All right, same treatment. Glue the bottom ends to the side, making sure there's plenty of glue. If it's taut, the glue will not go to the inside of the basket. Now we need to do this, do the sides. We're going to do the sides a portion at a time. Glue this portion and just hold it and sit and wait. Glue the next portion, hold it and sit and wait, because there was a little bit of a gap, if you remember correctly. This is time consuming right here, in the respect that you're just sitting and holding and keeping everything in place. I have sped the camera up so you don't have to endure watching and being part of holding it in place. And I will finish that other edge and come back, and look, we have a basket. Let's set it inside the tea basket and see how it fits. Put one corner in first, and then just stretch the basket around the other end. Now when you put the basket on, you're going to have to fuss with it. Make sure the corners of the cardboard basket come out at the corners, and fuss and pull that seam so that that ridged seam, so that it's directly over the edges of the basket, the bottom edges of the basket. And it sticks out just a little bit, the cardboard does. I think a better fabric would have been nicer, but let me go ahead and fuss with it and poke that cardboard up just a little bit. There we go. I think black and white gingham flannel would have been great, or gingham check. And it's a nice basket. I'm happy with this. You can put your tea bags in it. You could even put this on a desk with pencils. Such a nice little basket. I'm really happy. Hey, how did you like making the hard cardboard liner for this tea basket? What fabric did you use? Leave me a note. I'd love to know. And it was good to have you on my side of the mountain. I hope you'll come again soon.